Hello everyone, welcome to the new video. In this video we will implement how to clear previous screen from the navigation graph when user is navigating to the next screen. So let's say if we open the app and in the start we see a splash screen and after a few seconds user will be land on the login screen. So at this point if user tap on the navigation back button, then we don't want the user to go to the splash screen. So in that case the app will be closed. And if we open the app again and after the splash screen again we see the login screen. So if user tap on this forget password screen, so at this screen if user tap on this navigation back button, then we want the user to go back to the login screen. But in case let's say user tap on this login button and user will be land on home screen. So at this point if user tap on the navigate back button, then we don't want the user to go back to the previous screen, which is the login screen. So at this point multiple logic can be implemented. Let's say if user simultaneously tap on the back button 2 times, then we close the app. Or if user tap on this navigation back button first time, then we show a dismiss dialog to the user to inform to the user that user is going to leave the app. So after the confirmation button tap on that dialog, app will be closed. But right now the app will be closed because we haven't implement any logic yet. So this is what we will accomplish in this video. So you can find the initial code from the video description below. So in the initial code there are multiple screens which are already created. So let's go walk through with these. So here we have auth module which contains login and forget password screen, home module which take only one screen which is home screen, and the splash screen. So in our routes we have also defined the specific route for each screen. So the splash route. For auth module we have login and forget password route, and for home we only have one screen which is home. So in our main activity we define these screens against specific routes. So let's do it one by one. So start with the splash screen. So compose composable routes dot splash, and in that we use a splash screen, and for splash screen take one parameter as the argument which is a function type. So we use a lambda expression here, and here we have the route. If we see the implementation of splash screens, and this method will be called after a delay of 4 milliseconds, we will make it 3 milliseconds, and then this method will be triggered, and upon triggering that method we navigate to the next screen, which is in this point is the login screen. So nav controller dot navigate route, and the next routes are the auth module. So we define the auth module in this navigation graph. So rename it to change it to auth, and in here we have the composable routes.login login screen, which also take one argument which is the navigate next. So we have the route here. So nav controller dot navigate to so there's certain route, and the same thing for the forget password. Forget password screen, and this will take a navigate back argument. So here we call the navigate up method of the nav controller to navigate back to the previous screen, and the last one which is left is the home module. So we copy this comment, paste in here, and change it to home composable routes dot home, and in here we have our home screen. So we also change the start destination to the splash screen. Okay, so now let's run the app and verify these changes. Okay, so our app is up and running and we are seeing the splash screen. So after 3 seconds, user will land on this login screen. So right now, if user tap on this navigation back button, then user will be go back to the splash screen again, and after 3 seconds, land on login screen. So we want to avoid this, that if user gone through the splash screen first time, then user will never go back to the splash again. So to do that, we remove the previous screen, which is the splash screen, when user navigating from the splash to the login screen. So here we pass the second argument, which is in this navigate method. There is a nav options builder instance which is provided the scope. So in that we call the pop up to method, and in that we set the routes.splash and set it to inclusive. Means that when user is navigating to the next screen, then remove the previous screens from the navigation graph, including this splash screen as well, and user will be navigated to the next screen, which is the login screen. So now at this point, if we run the app and verify this change. Okay, so our app is up and running. So after the splash screen, we will land on login screen, and if we tap on this navigation back button, then app will be closed. Means that the splash screen is removed from the navigation graph. So next, if we run the app again and use the forget password flow, it's been crashing. Actually, we haven't implemented it yet. So in the login screen, here we have the forget password on click action. So at this point, we call the navigate next method and pass the routes dot forget password. So if we run the app again, so our app is up and running, and when we land on login screen, we tap on this forget password and we will be here on the forget password screen. So at this point, if we user tap on this back button, this is the obvious flow that we want the user to back to the login screen. But when user tap on this login button, then user will be land on home screen, and from that screen we want to clear the previous screens from the navigation graph. So for that, here we send the method when user tap on login button, then this action will be triggered, and in here we pass the route navigate next routes dot home, and in our main activity here, when where we are calling this navigate method, we set a condition that if route is routes dot home, then in that case we clear the route. So pop up to login and inclusive true. So this is a change that we need to apply. So we are seeing some error here. Where is this error coming from? Here we need to add a curly brace here. So okay, so let's run the app and verify this behavior on home screen. Okay, so our app is up and running, and on login screen we tap on this login button and user will land on this home screen, and at this point if user tap on this navigate back button, then app will be closed. There are multiple logics that can be implemented based on the business logic of the app. Let's say in some apps, when user tap simultaneously on this navigation back button, then the app will be closed. And in some apps, when user tap on this navigate back button, then a dismiss dialog will be shown to the user. User need to confirm that dialog, and that dialog inform that you are going to leave the app. Are you sure you want to do it? And upon the tap on the confirmation button, the app will be closed. But right now, for the demo purposes, we haven't we want to understand that how we can remove the previous screen from the navigation graph during navigation to the next screen. So this is what we have done. So if we tap on this back button, then the app will be closed right now. So with this, we come to the end of this video. I hope you find it valuable. If you have any query, do let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Bye.